Jim Lovell is one of only 3 men who's been to the moon not once, but twice, and that's not all that's fascinating about his career. In my opinion, he is one of the most interesting Apollo-era astronauts, and while I'm traveling right now and cannot make a regular video, I do have access to a ton of B-roll from his flights, so I thought we would go over a few mission highlights to mark his passing. So Jim Lovell's story starts with the Mercury selection process, which he, of course, did not make it through. He was not selected as one of the original Mercury astronauts because his liver had an excess of bilirubin. Bilirubin is a yellowish substance found in bile that is produced by the breakdown of red blood cells. It has nothing whatsoever to do with spaceflight, which is why he was then selected as part of the new 9 in the second group of astronauts. His first flight was as the pilot of Gemini 7, which is a really fascinating mission. Gemini 6 had a launch abort, so NASA made the decision to launch Gemini 6A at the same time as Gemini 7, which meant that this was the first time 2 spacecraft actually flew independently at the same time on a mission. His flight, however, was the duration of the 2 missions, and he and Frank Borman were up for 2 weeks, and he did say that it was a little bit on the grueling side. His second spaceflight was Gemini 12. He was the commander this time around with Buzz Aldrin as his pilot, and this is a really interesting mission because it was, of course, the last of the Gemini missions. This was the one that kind of brought everything together. Gemini was the proof of concept, proof that NASA could actually do things, live and work in space, and everything had to be done on Gemini 12. His next mission was Apollo 8, the first human mission to the moon over Christmas in December of 1968. He was the command module pilot on that mission, which is why in so many of these shots from the flight you can see him doing navigational exercises. And of course, his last mission was Apollo 13. I'm actually working on a super deep dive into Apollo 13 right now, but everyone knows the basics of the story. A little under 56 hours into the flight, one of the oxygen tanks ruptured and effectively crippled the main spacecraft, the command service module. That left a crew of 3 with only the lunar module for life support, a vehicle designed to take care of 2 men for 2 days, not 3 guys for upwards of 4 days. These 4 missions are 4 of the most interesting and also historically important missions when we're talking about the history of spaceflight and also looking at the space race, which is why I think it's fair to say that Jim Lovell has one of the most incredible careers of any astronaut.